Hello, and welcome to the Mommy Escape Time podcast. I am Lauren, your host, and I have a 1-year-old son. I started this podcast for any mother who might feel alone in their journey through motherhood. Becoming a mom is hard no matter how you get there, and this podcast is about the mom stuff that comes up in our lives. Listen, enjoy, and connect with us on the Mommy Escape Time podcast. Hello, and welcome to the Mommy Escape Time podcast. I am Lauren, your host, and yes, again, it is just me. I know many of you have asked if I will have any other guests. I don't know right now. I thought we had like 2 days off from school, and I was like, oh, I'll do that, and it won't be an issue. But one of the days we had a horrific windstorm, so there was no way that I could have recorded that day with anyone because we didn't even know if we were going to have power, let alone anything else. So there was no way that I was going to record that day. And I had my son the whole day. And then the other day that I had off, I had to go to the grocery store. So I was not, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see in the upcoming days what it brings. But I will put up on my to see if anyone actually wants to be on that hasn't been on before, and we'll go from there. So anyways, what I'm going to do, this episode is about independence for moms. Really, it's me talking about how I've not been doing a good job about teaching my son independence. So I will talk about that for, let's say about 12 minutes. And then the other 12 minutes, I'll do kind of like a recap of like what's been going on in our lives. Since we have to stay at home all the time. I didn't think people were into that, but a lot of people have actually messaged me and things like that. And if you don't know right now on social media, I am trying to do 7 days of posting. My husband kind of dared me that for 7 days I would post a photo and do something in stories every single day, which is like so not like me because social media is not my thing. So we're going to try it. I'm going to try it for a whole week, and then we'll see from there if I continue to do it. I definitely will not post a picture every single day. I don't know how the heck people do that. But maybe I'll try and do a little more than I have been, like nothing. So I'll try and build up that part a little better. So if there's anything that you want to see or want to know about, just let me know. I think DMing me on Instagram is probably the best way to go. That's normally the best way to contact me and what I look at most. I do have like an email that for Mommy Escape Time, but I'm really bad at checking that one. So I check that. I think I check it once a month. It's so bad, but it's like not something that people like. There's just so many easier ways to contact me. So DM me through Instagram at Mommy Escape Time if that's what you want. So anyways, let's talk about independence. So I think maybe our second episode or third episode was all about, taking time to be a mom. Like you need time for yourself. And I did that with my friend Becky. And since then, I think I do it less and less. And part of it is because my husband owns his own company. So he has like zero time, and he's the only person technically in his company. So that's not like he can like pass off work to anyone right now. And so of course now he's working like round the clock, and he works like East Coast to West Coast hours. So it's awesome. So he's just working all the time. That's basically what happens. He's just always working. And of course now he does 401k plans, and he has to help out so many people in so many different jobs. So he's very busy. So the only time I have help is when either my mom or his mom comes to help, which of course now that's happening 0 times. So I get when I have to teach work from home, my son is at daycare for part of the time, and the other part he's with me. And I've really been struggling since we started our quarantine that I don't have any time to myself, mostly because what am I going to go do? Like it's very hard for me to say, okay, I'm going to leave the room and go sit and watch TV by myself, which of course I absolutely would love to do, but it just seems so weird. Um, Now, like if I was going to go somewhere, then that would be different. Like even if I was going to go to the grocery store, that would be different. But I try to do all my grocery shopping in the first half of the day, hoping that that's when they're the most stocked. Although, well, I'll get into the grocery store at the second half, but um so I guess I've been working on independence, more of my independence, where my son would not need me all the time. He turns 2 at the end of this month, April of 2020, in case you are listening far in the future for this. So he's going to turn 2, and I struggle really to let him play independently. If we're playing, I feel like I should be playing with him. And I guess quarantine has taught me I can't do that. I will go bananas. So I have been training myself to let my son learn more independence. So, one of the big things, which I guess I have always been doing, is if he gets frustrated trying to do something or he wants something immediately, I don't first talk to him or acknowledge it. And I don't rush unless like it looks like he's in danger. Like if he's going down the stairs, then I will rush over and freak out. But if he like can't open something or he's struggling to like eat with his spoon or I can't think of anything else, um, then I just sort of ignore it and see if he can work it out on his own. One of the things that I have like this stool thing that one of my students made so my son can stand so he's at the counter level in our kitchen. So a lot of times I put him in that and then I could like do some stuff around the kitchen. So he's still occupied with whatever toys or whatnot we have up there and he'll play with that while I'm doing something else. So that has also taught me that. Helped me to have him learn some independence where he's not like totally attached to me. But there is when it's specifically play time, like we go outside to play or we're in the playroom or something like that, that is the time when I struggle to not have him play on his own. So this past week, I've really been working on it. So we go outside all the time, even when it rains, because oh my gosh, I don't know how we could stay in the house all day. So we had to do it one day this past week and it was hard, but survivable. So, anyways, we were out where while he was outside, I was picking up leaves that had gotten into like our bedding where our bushes are. So I was picking up leaves while he was kind of playing and I could just kind of keep my eye on him and he was fine. He did it for 45 minutes and he played on his own and he was fine. And I couldn't even tell you what he did. He plays, he talks to the trees and the bushes, and he loves sticks, and he does all this stuff with sticks, and he loves moving our. We have rubber wood chips. I guess they're not wood chips if they're rubber, but they're instead of wood chips, they are rubber chips. They're recycled tires and things like that. And he likes moving those things around and playing with them. So that's what he does. So that was my first goal of independence was outside, not playing with him. I don't want to say not playing with him, but being productive outside while he was doing something because I can't it's so hard to like look at your yard day after day after day and being outside and not doing anything about it. We have like a dandelion infestation and I've just given up. I'm like, okay, we'll have dandelions this year. I can't pick them all. But I could do something about the leaves that were in the bedding. So I have really cleaned that out in the front of our house. And now next I want to work in the back of my house. So on then I had to work on independence inside. So inside is harder. I believe most people maybe bring their child into just the playroom and have them play there. And we have this I don't want to say it's a horrible habit. I guess it's a good habit. We use every room in the house. And I literally mean every room in the house. I don't think that there is a room in this house except for my husband's office, which even I don't want to go into because just It's his office. It's his space, so he can do whatever he wants with it. But my son plays in absolutely every single room in that house. And that is including the bathrooms in our house, which I know sounds very odd and very weird. But I think I've trained him that way because I think I've brought him with me while I've been doing things in rooms around the house all along, and I didn't realize it. So we have we in the kitchen on the counter where his stool is, I have like books and stickers for him to play with while he's there. In our guest bedroom where the grandmothers normally stay, we have the Duplo Legos. We have a rocking horse in the bathroom. It's actually the largest bathroom in our entire house is in the guest room. Our master bathroom isn't even this big, but our guest room bathroom is huge. So we have a rocking horse in that bathroom, and he loves playing in that bathroom, and he loves looking out the window in that bathroom specifically. And that was the guest room is actually our playroom to begin with when we first started out, because when my son could first learn to crawl, we wanted him on the carpet, and I also had a broken leg, and I was living in the guest room because I could not get up the stairs. Um, so the guest room has always been a part of like our play area stuff. And then we have a living room where he just basically has books. That's all he has to play with in there, and like one or two balls. And then in the basement is his actual playroom. But we also have a gym down there, which he has a swing in. And then upstairs, obviously, he has his own toys. And then in our room, there's a few toys that we have in our room also. So really, we have toys everywhere in our house. And even though we don't like to always admit it, he literally will play in every room in our house. Oh, in my office, because I have a little office in our house also. He plays in there. I have a few toys in there. It also is the holder of the stroller. So sometimes he just likes to move the stroller around in my office. So every room has something. So this past week, I was going to bring my son to daycare on one of my days off so that I could clean the house. Well, the world had other plans because we had like a very bad rain and windstorm, like winds like consistently 20 to 30 miles an hour. And I was like, I'm not getting in a car. Like, there's no point to doing that. So I'm like, I'm going to have to figure out how to how to clean my house with my child. And I actually did a really good job. I think starting in the morning is best. I think that is when my son wants to be the most independent because he's so used to it from going to school every day or daycare every day. So I tried to use that. So each room we went into, I started on the top floor and I cleaned up there. I had him in our room so I could clean our room and our bathroom. And he was fine. He entertained himself, didn't even try to bother me or anything like that. And then I put up a baby gate to his room and had the door open. And then I could clean his bathroom and the hallway, and then obviously his room. So I was able to do all of that with literally I think that was over an hour, and he didn't really need my attention at all. When I got into his room, obviously, he did notice that I was there. So he needed a little more attention, but I could stop and help him and, read a book, and then he would be back to playing on his own, and he was fine. And then when I didn't clean like our first floor, like our main floor, I took him down into the basement where we have our gym and his playroom. And he was able to play independently down there while I cleaned the whole gym and then his playroom. And his playroom doesn't need like a lot of cleaning, actually. We don't wear our shoes in the house. So like we don't like track in as much stuff, but downstairs we have special shoes that we only wear in our gym that we don't wear outside and stuff like that. So we're really I don't want to say picky, that's the wrong word, but we make sure that we are wearing that we the least amount of dirt possible comes into the basement. So that's what we did there. So the bathroom in the basement is the hardest thing for us to, is the most time consuming, I'll say, to clean in the downstairs. And my son was fine. He just played the whole time, all independently. So it was like almost 2 hours that my son played independently on his own. So that really taught me that like I don't need to be all over him all the time. If I need to clean, then he can just be in whatever room I need to clean in and play with whatever and then move on. And honestly, if I need to put on the TV, then that's what I need to do. Like at the end of the day, that's just what I need to do. So I am learning that it is okay to let what you think it's supposed to look like at home not be that. And I think my son kind of likes that little bit of independence, and he definitely needs it. Um, and I think that my issue has been is that because I send him all day to daycare, and then because I'm at work normally, obviously, and then pick him up, I feel like, okay, I pick him up at 3, like he goes to bed at 8. I only have 5 hours with him that day. And I think that that like eats away at me sometimes, that I'm like, I only have 5 hours. I only have 5 hours. I only have 5 hours. And like, that's all I think. And then I'm like, I only have 3 hours. I only have 3 hours. Like I want to spend as much time with him as possible, even though obviously like I still have to do other things in my life. So I can say that, um, I don't really have any like projects that I need to like get done around the house or whatnot. Like, um, so it's not like I have to work on anything like that. I, so even in the summer, like I think I'll be okay. I'll be much better about independence with him because I won't be so focused on, oh, he has to get this done, or, oh, I have to spend as much time with him as possible. Um, so I'm working on it. I think it's a balance. I think, this is probably, the quarantine has helped me that, I need to find that balance because I also still have to work. Like my son goes to daycare in the morning, but not in the afternoon. And I still have to do some work in the afternoon. It's not like I get to just duck out and not do work or not answer emails and things like that. So it's harder. Using my computer and my phone around my son, that's very hard for him to not. He wants to see what's on my phone. He wants me to show him pictures of himself. He wants his music on. And of course, not all of that is possible. So I really try and limit my technology around him because of that, because it's such a trigger for him to get upset that he can't get what he wants. So I'm always trying to be mindful of that. So my husband and I kind of take turns once he is home to try and maneuver that. And some things it has to wait till the next day. Like I can't. I just can't. It's so hard to do it from home. Oh my gosh. Teaching from home is not conducive. And it's so funny because I always thought, I was like, oh, I'll do one of those like, because I teach English as a second language. And I'm like, oh, I could do one of those like online classes and make extra money. It's just so not as effective. I can see that now. So who knows, but whatever, I digress. So that's the end of me learning about how to teach my son more independence and not to be as clingy to me. Now we'll move on to regular updates. So obviously, if you're listening to this in the present time when this is out, you all know that we are in quarantine still. I'm in Connecticut, so right now we are here till May 20th. So right now it's April 15th. So I have already done this. So I've done this for 30 days. I'm past 30 days, right? I don't know. Yeah, I'm past 30 days of being in quarantine. So it's a little scary. I don't want to say scary. It's a little nerving to know that at minimum, I will be doing this another month and 5 days. Right now, I believe it'll be longer than that. But, you know, whatever happens, happens. It is not my decision on what happens. So I just have to kind of wait just like everyone else. I'm not going to make any predictions. I read enough predictions about what everyone thinks, and I feel like it's like very polarized. I want everyone to be safe. I don't want I'm always very nervous for my mom and my mother-in-law and um, just anyone who's in that risk category. I don't want anyone. I just want everyone to be safe. End of story. So this week, let's see. So was Sunday Easter? I guess Sunday was Easter. Oh my gosh, isn't that? Ugh, it's so bad that we just don't know what days are, and it seems like all our days are just so far apart. So Sunday, I guess, was Easter. So we did nothing special. We had Sundays. We did start a new ritual that we have frozen pizza, and we watch a movie. Now this Sunday we did have frozen pizza, but we did not watch a new movie. Normally we pick like a new movie off Disney Plus, and we watch that. We started with Frozen 2, and we actually did that for like 3 weekends in a row because that is my son's favorite movie ever. And then we did Beauty and the Beast, and then we've done Cars, and I don't know, we've done like one other. So we did that on Easter, but we did not watch a movie because it was actually nice out, and we knew Monday was going to be like horrible weather. So I was like, I know we're going to watch a ton of TV on Monday, and I knew my son wasn't going to go to daycare because it wasn't safe to be outside. Like, I don't even know if it was a regular school day, if we would have even had school, even though it was technically our April break. But it was just very dangerous outside. So I knew I wasn't going to send my son to school. So I had planned that I was, going to clean that Monday morning, and then, I said I had no rules about when we could watch TV. If I needed a break and he wanted to watch TV, that's what we were going to do. And I will say he really didn't ask for TV that much, and we never watched TV for more than like 30 minutes at a time. So it really didn't matter to me. It rained really bad, and I actually downloaded like 4 movies off Disney Plus just in case on my iPad, because if we lost power, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, we can't, like, I don't want to say we can't live without TV, but it's like it would have made life much harder if we had lost power and not been able to at least have the option to watch TV, I'll say. So that day wasn't horrible, except that Monday morning I was like, okay, we have to do laundry, and I want to do it in the morning because if we lose power, I want everything to be dry out of the dryer. So we set in a full load, and it was full, and I set it up, and the washer didn't work. And I was so upset because all our clothes got wet, but it wasn't like spinning and draining. And so my husband called a repairman, but he couldn't come till Tuesday. So I was like, okay, so we have wet clothes that are not going to be able to get washed yet. And we tried drying them, but they were like too wet that you like couldn't dry them. And I didn't want to break the dryer trying to dry these wet clothes. So we just left them in a laundry basket for a day. And when the laundry repairman came on Tuesday, he said what happened is I don't know. We have a top loading washing machine, and basically there's a tub, but there's like a little part where clothes at the very top could get stuck in. I'm explaining this horribly, but just know that clothes fell behind our, like, in the wash. They were in the washer, but behind like the main tub where you throw in the clothes. Somehow clothes got stuck back there. So that's why our washer didn't work. So we didn't need a totally new part or anything like that, but just a ridiculous cost to have to pay for clothes falling behind there. And not all the clothes were ours, by the way. They were definitely clothes from the previous owner. So not just something that we had done, but something our previous owner had done. So I guess we are definitely going to be more mindful when we put in our clothes to make sure that they are not getting stuck in this one part where the washing machine kind of comes away from the wall and that clothes can get stuck down there. That is also the day that I went to the grocery store for the first time since March 12th. So it was almost a full month. My husband has gone all the other times, and we only got Instacart once. I was only able to sign up for it once. Since then, I haven't ever been able to get a time. And I'm sure I've talked about this. I don't want to take times away from people who absolutely need them. Like my husband and I are able to go to the grocery store. So I don't want to take away from people who can't go to the grocery store. So I went to a store called Price Chopper in town, and it was fine. It wasn't very crowded. There were people there wearing masks. I did not wear a mask. I made sure to stay away from people. I did not touch my face once. I did not touch my phone at all. I had my shopping list. I was able to get everything but yeast and frosting. It looks like I might have to make my own frosting for my son's birthday cake because for some reason there is zero frosting out there. I don't know why that's such a big thing that's missing, but apparently people are doing a lot of baking. So that's good. I guess that's a good thing. I did a self-checkout, and that worked out really well. In Connecticut, they had just banned plastic bags, and now you get plastic bags for free. So I just use those and then throw them out so that I know. I put all my produce in a plastic bag, and then I throw the plastic bag away when I get home. And yeah, and I change my clothes and shower as soon as I get home after I unload the groceries. And then that's it. So that was my Tuesday. I don't think there was anything special besides that. It was nice out, so everyone was really excited about that. And then I posted in my Instagram story, I guess it's today, Wednesday, the 15th, that I made bacon for the first time at home. I've never made it in my entire life. I actually never really ate it until college. It was just something that didn't interest me. It still doesn't really totally interest me. It interests me more than not. Especially after cooking it, I like it less maybe than I used to. I had no idea it produced that much grease. That was a lot of grease. So, but I did it, and the whole house smelled like bacon. It still smells like bacon, and it's nighttime. So that was interesting. But yeah, I mean, my husband and I are trying to eat a little healthier, and I was like, okay, if I make a salad, I'm like, what do we need so we can add to it that would make it more appetizing for us? And we both kind of said like bacon. Like if we could do like we both like these like ranch wraps, which it's like chicken and bacon, lettuce, cheese, tomato, and a ranch dressing. And I was like, that's like we love eating that. So we're trying to do that just in salad form, I guess. So so yeah, I made bacon. I learned a new skill. So I was very proud of myself. And the last thing is that tonight the Red Cross called me begging me to do a platelet donation. So if you heard back a few weeks ago, I did a podcast about it. It's an intense experience, but I am going to go back and do it. The woman on the phone mentioned mentioned some things that when you do a platelet donation for the first time, they don't know about your platelets yet and things like that. So they don't know how, I don't want to say how powerful, but how concentrated your platelets are. So I assumed that my platelets didn't go over very well because they didn't call me to do another donation right away. And normally, like the day you are able to do a donation again, they call you. And they didn't call me. So I was like, ugh, I'm sure my platelets weren't that great. And so the woman on the phone today, I don't believe her. I'll have to wait and see. But they said I have a very high concentration of platelets, like some of the highest numbers they've ever seen. I don't know if I believe that, but um, I'll go with it. Let's say it is true. It means more to donate because it's necessary. Um, because I they would need less. What they need is the amount of platelets, the concentration of the platelets. So when they're used for patients, they don't care if you can give, let's say, 150 platelets. That's fine, but they're going to have to maybe use someone else who also is giving 150 platelets. If you have 300 platelets in your in this bag, then they just need that donation to give to someone. I hope I'm explaining this correctly. But that's pretty much what it means. So the higher concentration of platelets is what's most important, and there's nothing you can do. You are born with the amount of platelets that are in your blood. So there's nothing you can do. So they said I had a very high platelet count. I don't know if I don't think they're lying. Just the number that she said. I don't know. That would put me in a very elite category for blood donations. So we'll see. The second time you do it, it's like you have to get like an average to see if that was just a one-time fluke or whatnot. So I'm working it out with my husband and work to try and come up with a time that I can go and do another platelet donation because it is like a 3.5 hour, 4 hour commitment. And obviously, it's a little more challenging in these times. So I'm trying to figure out how that's all going to look. And so that's it. So anyways, I hope everyone is doing well and they're doing safe. Remember, there are so many people that are keeping the country running. So be grateful and thankful for them. And thank them if you can. And I hope everyone stays safe, and I will talk to you soon. Have a good week. Bye.